Mysterious incidents occur frequently on the train. Every time the train passes through a tunnel, a carriage is brutally massacred, and then disappears without a trace. What is hidden inside the tunnel? Where is the train heading? This is the latest horror film Train of Death. Tina, in celebration of her improved cancer condition, invites her sister, Aura, to go to a secluded mountain resort to relax. They plan to pass through 5 newly constructed railway tunnels to reach the resort and enjoy a wonderful vacation. Before they even enter the train station, they see a group of local women protesting. It seems like they want the businessman to compensate them for their husbands. Mr. Bala, the person in charge, orders the protesters to be driven away. Tina and Aura do not approach. The two of them board the Sankala train, but horrifying events quickly unfold. The duty train conductor informs everyone the Sankala train journey will take 7 hours. Estimated arrival at the resort is 7 p.m. Mr. Bala, the person in charge, and the developer, Mr. Tasso, are also in the first-class cabin of this train. They are celebrating the construction of the tunnel. Accompanying photographer Adam is taking pictures for everyone. The train is filled with passengers, internet celebrities who record videos, couple who stole money and ran away. Aside from them, there is also a woman with short hair. She holds a photo in her hand, seemingly searching for someone important. The woman with short hair wants to talk to the developer, but the passengers in the economy class are not allowed in the first-class cabin. Mr. Tasso is having a heated argument with Mr. Bala due to the recent protest incident at the station, which severely damaged his tourism business's image. But Tasso is unaware of the situation. Bala, in order to open this direct passage, caused significant deforestation and environmental impact. Local people who protested were also driven away. Most importantly, the workers involved in the tunnel construction went missing one after another, encountering many strange incidents. That's why women protested to find their husbands. The woman with short hair also came for this reason. On the side of Aura and Tina, Aura saw a crow flying by, which made Aura somewhat unhappy. At this moment, Tina suddenly needed to go to the restroom. She didn't inform her sister that she was feeling unwell. She went alone and hid in the restroom. While Tina was vomiting, a ghostly figure wearing a work uniform was reflected in the mirror. Looks like a railroad worker. Shortly after, the train entered the first tunnel. A child rubbed their eyes and coincidentally missed the ghostly figure outside the window. Meanwhile, the train conductor noticed through the surveillance cameras that the door of carriage number 5 was continuously shaking. He asked the man with long hair to go and check. Meanwhile, Aura in carriage number 5 noticed that her sister hadn't returned yet, and her phone had no signal. She went to find someone. She discovered her sister wasn't in the restroom of carriage number 5. Ola continued to look for someone in the front carriage. Meanwhile, the girl who had just woken up noticed another girl. The girl stared at her. Unexpectedly, the next moment, the girl in white revealed a ghostly face. She was so scared that she fell to the ground, unable to make a sound. Red light reveals more ghosts. The girl kept retreating. She bumped into the man with long hair. Then, a scream rang out. Carriage number 5 suddenly disconnected and disappeared into the dark tunnel. At the same time, Aura found Tina in the restroom of carriage number 4. She noticed something sticky in her sister's hair. She guessed her sister had vomited again. Aura said, "We shouldn't have come to the resort." Tina was attracted by the scene behind the car. Why is carriage number 5 missing? The two sisters quickly went to report the situation to the train attendant. The train attendant wanted to lock the carriage and conceal the truth. However, passengers in carriage number 4 had already noticed something unusual. The train attendant lied, claiming that everything had been taken care of. Carriage number 5 was left in the tunnel for maintenance. Adam felt that something was not right, but he couldn't make the train attendant reveal the truth. On the other side, Tina and her sister, along with the woman with short hair, were sitting in carriage number 3, waiting for arrangements. Tina needed to go to the restroom again. Aura wanted to make a hot drink for her sister. She received a call from the attending physician. That's when she learned that her sister's cancer hadn't improved at all. The liver cancer surgery had a poor outcome. Tina, since last week, she had been avoiding the doctor's calls. Aura was about to ask a few more questions, but the signal got disconnected. Shortly after, Tina returned to the dining car. Aura blamed her sister for keeping it from her, but Tina has her own reasons. If she told the truth to her family, she couldn't plan this trip. Tina doesn't want to spend her final stage of life in a hospital. She doesn't want to see Aura sad. That's why she lied about being cured. She wants to create beautiful memories with her sister. Tina is still so young. Meanwhile, the train attendant is inspecting the power distribution box. He discovers the machine is covered with vines. There is also transparent mucus. The train attendant is about to leave, but sees 3 ghostly figures reflected on the window. Before he can react, they vanish. The train attendant rubs his arms. Right at that moment, the train conductor comes over to inquire, why is the radio malfunctioning? The train could not contact the control center. The train attendant tells the conductor about what he just witnessed, and reported that car number 5 fell off. The train conductor doesn't believe that the carriages have separated, must go through special procedures. But the surveillance footage of carriage number 5 did malfunction, and there is a missing section at the back of the train. This matter must not be known by Tasso. The train attendant forces a smile. He goes to explain to Tina and her sister. He claims it's just an issue that caused carriage number 5 to derail from the train. The staff at the departure station will handle it and assist in retrieving your luggage and deliver it to the resort. During their conversation, the train enters the second tunnel. The train attendant says that he will arrange for Tina and her sister to be upgraded to the economy class in the 4th carriage. They can only comply with the arrangement. As the two are about to head to the 4th carriage, they are stopped by the attendant, as Aura hasn't paid for the ginger tea she brewed. While Tina is paying, laughter suddenly comes from carriage number 2. Woke up the passengers inside. Everyone looks at the woman making the sound. She's wearing headphones, but carriage number 4 is even more extreme. Several people are singing and dancing, treating the carriage as a party venue. A man with long hair suddenly feels suffocated. Veins bulge on his neck, and his eyes become bloodshot. He reaches out for help, like a drowning person. Then other passengers start experiencing similar symptoms. They mumble incomprehensible words, mostly about humans eventually being punished. Adam raises his camera to capture this eerie scene. He lifts the lens. He sees a monster clinging to the top of the carriage. Her ribs protrude. Her body is covered in vines. She is not human. Adam takes several shots of the monster. Adam's face starts to distort. Aura is about to enter carriage number 4. She watches the other person derail. She screamed. She says there's a monster in carriage number 4. The noise here disturbs Tasso in the first-class cabin. He and Bara come over to inquire about the details. They learn the train has lost 2 carriages. Short-haired woman was the first to see through the truth. Every time a tunnel is passed, a train car disappears. This has happened twice in a row. It's definitely not a coincidence. Mr. Bara, to calm Tasso down, he states, those carriages were simply left in the tunnels. Then he asked the conductor if he had contacted the control center. The train attendant remembers the conductor's warning. He lied, that the train maintains continuous communication with the control center. Bara goes back to attend to the VIP customers. He discovers his phone has no signal. Moss has grown on the leather sofa. He takes a tablecloth and wipes it off. Then he goes to ask the conductor what's going on. The conductor says, there's a communication device malfunction on the train. He doesn't know what has happened either. Bara gives orders to reach the resort as soon as possible. Upon arrival, immediately send people to evacuate the passengers in those carriages and transport them to the resort. Provide VIP-level service. Request them to sign a non-prosecution agreement. We can't let this matter escalate. The conductor opens the surveillance footage. They unexpectedly capture a terrifying ghostly figure. A question arises in their minds. What if they can't find the missing carriages? Bharat instructs the conductor to delete that footage and keep a close eye on the woman with short hair. The investors in the first-class cabin are crucial. It must not affect them at all. However, at this moment, the woman with short hair stops Tasso and introduces herself as Ram. Her husband went missing while working on the resort's railway construction. Tasso responds, he is just a partner. The railway construction was contracted to Bara. He is not aware of the details. On the other side, the train attendant takes Tina and her sister to VIP cabin number 2, but there's only one seat available. Tina asks her sister to sit and rest first, but this arrangement caused dissatisfaction among guests. Since the VIP cabin is already full, why are they squeezing in a few more people? The train attendant apologizes with his head down. Meanwhile, Tina runs into the restroom and spits out a mouthful of blood. Immediately after, the train enters another tunnel. Susie, who serves in the restaurant, becomes extremely nervous because the next carriage is hers. Tasso tells Susie not to doubt. He goes to greet the dining guests. Suddenly, screams come from behind. The train attendant and Tasso quickly rush over to check. The restaurant is in chaos, covered in sticky fluids. However, Susie is nowhere to be found. Tasso sees a monster sitting in the corner. He commands the train attendant to retreat. They prepare to lead the customers back to carriage number 2, but they soon realize they can't move. Shortly after, More and more bodies entangled in spider webs appeared. Everyone crawls on the ground, moving forward. They try to avoid the corpses and return to the second carriage. However, those monsters can control people's movements. A woman with long hair is forced to cut her own throat. Then, the creature known as Tingman appears again. Her arrival excites the monsters. Tasso's head is pressed against the glass and crushed. Tina, who just stepped out of the restroom, was startled. She and the train attendant try to open the doors to save people, but no matter how hard they try, it doesn't work. The third carriage is also missing. Now the people in carriage number 2 all witness this scene. The train attendant suggests to stop the train before entering the fourth tunnel. Bara shifts the focus. He questions Cam and Tina and her sister. Why did you survive? This must be a premeditated robbery. Upon hearing this, the young couple is immediately convinced by Bara. The man smashes a bottle for self-defense. The train is about to enter the fourth tunnel. Tina asks everyone to move to the first-class cabin. The man in black scratched Tina's arm with glass. The train attendant grabs his hand, trying to take away the bottle. Tina, Aura, and the girlfriend of the man in black also join the battlefield. The whole carriage is in chaos. Tina accidentally stabs the man in black to death. This misunderstanding escalates the situation. They not only become robbers, now she's a murderer again. Tina clutches the bottle to protect her sister. The train attendant breaks the glass and escorts the 3 women into carriage number 1, but he is caught and beaten up by the people in carriage number 2. At this moment, the vine monster appears. The train attendant hides in carriage number 1. The remaining people don't have time to react and are consecutively killed by the vine monster. Piercing screams fill carriage number 2. Soon, train connection disconnected with sparks. Now only the last carriage remains. Mr. Bara still refuses to stop the train. He insists on reaching the resort as soon as possible. But the problem is, can he safely pass through the last tunnel? At this moment, the train conductor also realizes the seriousness of the situation. He orders the driver to open the cockpit door in an attempt to stop the train before entering the tunnel. Mr. Bala started to move. The driver is pushed aside. Accidentally, the door is opened. The train attendant tries to go and help. He is kicked by Bara and falls off the train, dying. Amidst the shock of the group, the driver stops the train. The last tunnel is ahead. Everyone ties up Bara. The resort is not far from this location. They can walk through the forest to reach it. And Calm also exposed the tunnel project that has caused the death of many workers. Her husband, Dato, is one of them. Before the tunnel construction, Bara, in order to save money, sought greater profits, disregarding the advice of the designers, insisted on cutting a path through the forest. The locals expressed, this forest is inhabited by creatures that are not human. If provoked, the consequences would be unimaginable. Now it seems that villager was not lying. The group decides to bypass the tunnel and go to the resort. As soon as they get off the train, dark shadows keep passing by. The vine monster floats out of the tunnel. Tina and the others run as fast as they can. Bala, who was locked in the carriage, was unlucky. The monster grips his head and drains him. Meanwhile, the train conductor who escaped into the forest encounters unknown creatures in the woods. He quickens his pace to catch up with the rest of the group. The monster won't spare the train conductor. After all, he was involved in the tunnel construction. On the other side, Tina and her sister hide behind a large tree, but they are still found by the monster. In the mist-filled forest, vines grow rampantly. Wrap all the remaining people in it. They become a part of the tree trunks, replacing the felled trees. Tina and her sister are immobilized in place. Aura is gradually turning into a tree. Tina, suffering from cancer, still retains her human form. She pleads with the vine woman to spare Aura, offering to take her sister's place, but no one can hear Tina's plea. Finally, the tunnel collapses. The forest gradually repairs itself. Aula really bloomed. Tina also survived 2 rounds of surgery. Perhaps one day, the 2 sisters will be reunited. The film ends here. The overall setting is visually captivating. Each carriage provides an exciting scene. This arrangement prevents the story from becoming dull. The pacing is tight and reasonable. However, the disaster scenes in the 5 carriages have a slightly excessive repetition of elements. The origin of the vine monster lacks some necessary setup and introduction. Overall, it feels somewhat lacking. If you enjoy my channel, please consider subscribing.